Yeah, Andy, you said
I'm
that
eating
tradition.
right now, so.
Hey, we're on the Generation Z show on 101.7 FM, broadcasting from UFB Abbotsford to the Fraser Valley. I'm Andy Lee,
I'm Dakota Leslie.
I'm Chris.
and we're here with two other people who aren't gonna talk.
We're here with Aaron and Danny, but like Andy said, they're not going to talk. They're just going to stand there or sit there, and Aaron's going to film, and Danny's going to stare awkwardly at me as I say this.
I'll talk.
I doubt it.
She's judging you.
Anyways, today's topic is about us.
Yes, the Generation Z show and how we are expanding and etc. etc.
Yeah. So, if you didn't know, I'm moving away for a while. So we have 3 other people to fill my shoes, and they are very big shoes.
Once I leave, there will be another 3 people, so we'll have 6 people in the studio at some point. But there's certain reasons, Andy, why don't you say those certain reasons why we're having 3 new people instead of just one person to replace you and your magnificent... Yes, that.
Danny has an answer. Let's hear her answer, and then I'll tell everyone my answer.
Because each 3 people have a little part of Andy in them.
She said that each of the 3 people have a part of Andy in them.
That sounds so scary.
Chris, why don't you... That was a little bit of blood coming out of my mouth. Chris, why don't you tell us what part of Andy you have, I suppose, if we're going by that now.
I don't even want to know.
What part?
DJing.
She says the DJing. Would you say you have Andy's DJing skills, or would you say that Andy has your DJing skills?
I'd say Andy has mine.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, are you gonna accept that?
I'm more of a controller, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Take that.
Oh,
You have no part of me.
in this corner we have Andy Lee, and in that corner we have Chris.
Yep. Anyways, see, this when I'm gone, I have to leave 3 people behind to take my place, and Chris is here.
And Chris is one of the 3.
Yeah.
Later
I can see
we.
things are gonna be going very well. But the
Yes.
answer to the question that you asked was, why do you have 3 people taking my place? It's because three people came to the interview. They're like, yes, we want to take part in the Generation Z show, and I'm like, oh, I can't reject anyone. So I mean, I wanna get everyone involved.
I'd hate to
So-
see you retail shopping though. Just like, oh man, this watermelon, but then I'll have to put away something else. No, I'll just buy it and not pay rent.
Yeah, that's sure.
Yes, that'll be Andy's future. He'll
Yeah.
be bankrupt because of food he can't decide on.
Yeah, but another thing is that they are very big shoes. Like right now, I'm taking care of at least 3 things. Even if you think it's a super easy job, it's not. So like, Chris is good with audio, that I know. So I suppose that he would be taking care of most of the soundboard, music, Sam, broadcaster, that sort of thing, and making sure our audio quality is as good as it can be, even with the equipment we have. Austin is really good with asking questions and things like that because he's used to doing that with his job, or at
Alright.
least that's what he tells me.
It's all been a lie this whole time. He actually doesn't work that type of job. He's just staying at home.
Maybe.
It's a joke.
Maybe, but he's pretty cool. And Ryan also, he works with like charities, and he's pretty cool too. So, you know, instead of if one person can focus on one thing instead of one person focusing on 3 things,
It just makes it easier, yeah.
it makes it easier. Yeah, and I mean, if not all of us can be together at the studio, it's not a big deal because we have 4 other people, 3 or 4 other people we can count on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was right.
Right.
There's 3 people.
Yes.
That's-
Let me give you the microphone here, Danny.
So I was right, Dakota. You don't have
Okay, alright.
You said that they have. each of these three people have a part of me in them, which isn't true, unless like you want to get into details.
You ask a lot of questions. You do a lot of stuff with the soundboard.
All right, we're gonna move on now to Chris's interview. So, Chris, what got you interested in radio? Let's begin with the basics.
Well, I've been DJing for a while now. I've been a music producer for a while. I've just wanted to like get my music out there, meet new people in the industry, and just learn the basics of radio shows. Because I was actually planning on setting up my own radio station. I have a server computer back at home to get it all ready. But
Oh, like, okay, so online radio.
Yeah.
Well, we could talk about that after the show, me and you, later. So, with that, what kind of format would you have done with the radio show online, rather?
just
what kinda-
strictly like music and all that.
Music? Okay. Do you have any certain ways, obviously you didn't come to it, but did you plan on like a way of maybe drawing people into the show? Because obviously they can just tune into like regular radio and get maybe about the same songs. Was there a different format?
Not really. I was just gonna do straight up DJ sets. Maybe have a few friends come over and DJ with me, but that's about it.
Okay.
What do you want me to say?
I want you to say something very intellectual, and that will surprise me, Andy. Yes! That was the answer!
2042.
2042.
Yeah.
Alright, mark that on your calendars. Yeah, so, Chris. Chris. So, as Andy said, you probably take over the fancy control panel here. Do you like the setup that you're seeing right now, or is there anything you might critique about it?
It looks decent as is.
Yeah?
Not much I would change.
Probably better than your radio show that you were gonna have.
Yes, it is.
Oh, if listeners don't know this, CIVL is going to expand a little bit, moving out to a different building in UFB, and the studio is being built as we speak, and we're hoping to have way better equipment, a way nicer studio. I think we're gonna have one out overlooking the campus with like a big window in the front. But time will only tell, and you guys are gonna have to fill me in what we have.
So are you saying that they're gonna build a studio on a hill that's gonna look over UFB, or just a slight hill, I
No,
suppose?
they're not building a separate building just for CIVL. It's gonna be part of the building, like another building. I think it's something like a gathering place, kind of, with like food and stuff.
Oh, okay. So basically what you're saying though is we're gonna have a station, and then we're gonna have food, because those are just the key components to me. It's just radio and food.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fascinating. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, well, only time will tell. I think it should be finished this winter. At least that's what Aaron tells me.
All right.
If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm looking
Alright.
forward to that, or at least you guys should be.
So, Chris, is there any questions you have for us about radio and what we've already been doing and things like that?
Not really, actually.
No? Alright. Andy, do you have questions for Chris?
I know everything about Chris I ever want to know.
Yeah, I know a lot about Chris, but the audience doesn't quite know Chris.
Well, if you guys want to know what Chris does, why don't we just play one of his songs, see what you guys like.
Yeah, sure. So, Andy's just gonna get the song loaded, but I got another question for Chris.
Alright.
Skateboard or longboard?
Longboard.
This was very
Hell
important.
yes.
Now my life has been decided. I'm gonna go to BCIT, everyone.
Okay. Anyways, this is Bass Junkie by Crank. Here it goes. Bass Junkie by Crank. Everyone.
Alright.
Chainsaws, death, bassness, junkiness,
If you were to make a music video of that
massiveness.
song, massiveness.
I don't know, whatever BSTs use.
If you were to make a music video of that song, what would you put? Now you're gonna have to be super creative, because obviously it's just
Well.
to listen, right?
With that song? I'd probably take my dad's RC drone to just record from the air, like a house party or something.
A house party? Okay, that's fine. It's actually a decent idea. You're
yeah,
on
but
board?
that's so generic.
Take like a GoPro or something.
It's so generic though. Like, You watch
Put a
any?
waterproof case on. Go jumping into the pool. Project X recording. Oh yeah.
Well, if you watch like any real like anything like electronic, go on YouTube. You're like you watch it. It's either about like people driving in cars and then showing up to a club and then like partying, or like
How about I make one like turn down for what?
oh that would be pretty cool.
I'm gonna have to say no. Alright. So you use FL Studios and Tractor we were just discussing to make those types of songs. Now
Well, just FL Studio. That's
oh, that one? Okay.
as a digital audio workstation. Tractor is just to mix the songs live.
Okay, okay. How do you feel that you're gonna bring those sounds that you learned from those programs into the radio as it is?
Well, with audio producing, I need to like be good at audio mixing with like a mixer board like we have here,
Yeah.
and that's really all there is.
Alright, well he's making a new intro. So
you want me to
I
answer
can
that
do
question?
what's that, Andy?
The question that you asked, how you're working with DAWs and stuff helps being on the radio.
Yeah.
Okay, so we use DAWs in our other studio for recording, and if you know how to use your basic like recording DAWs, then you'll pick it up really fast, even if you're not familiar with it. Also, like you can use compression, reverb, delays, and whatever effects you want when in the studio as well. Like I mean, I don't recommend it. Like sometimes people like to do that, especially on I don't know game shows. Also EQing, mic EQing. We're not allowed to touch the EQ set on here, but I mean, if you use it and then keep it back to what it was, I think it should be fine. We have 3 different mics in the studio right now, and they all have a different signature, so you can adjust that if you need to.
Those were Technical Factors by Andy Lee.
Yeah.
To Chris.
Did you
That's
not
all.
understand those, Dakota?
No, I'm just sure some of the audience has no idea what we're talking about because they're not in this room. Alright.
What do you want me to?
I want you to...
This is your interview, Dakota.
Oh,
You
okay.
got this. You got
Oh,
this.
okay. Alright. So, what is your favorite equipment to use?
My laptop.
Your laptop, that's awesome. What kind of laptop do you own without saying the brand name? Specs.
Oh. A lot of people are gonna laugh.
Back in 1984.
He uses
No, it's
a
from
netbook.
2013 actually. It's one up from a netbook.
Oh, that's good.
1.3 gigahertz dual core processor, 2 gigs of RAM, and a 270 gig hard drive.
It's like he's straight out of the 90s.
I know, right? That's so yesterday.
Yeah, man, like the new fashion is like I don't know, Gucci laptops and things like that.
Retro.
Yeah.
So retro, man.
Yeah, man.
Is it a Celeron? What? Like a processor. Never mind. See, these hosts just walk in thinking they know everything, and then they're like, wait, what?
That's
well,
why.
you guys just a Gucci laptop. I'm pretty sure it's a clothing brand.
No, you don't know your brands.
Yeah.
I know all the brands because I am an encyclopedia of information and I'm always 100% correct.
Right.
Don't laugh over there, Danny.
Okay, Dakota, let's ask you some questions.
Alright, perfect.
What do you like about being on the radio?
What do I like about it?
Yeah.
I get to express my opinion and I get to work on some of my really bad jokes. It's fantastic.
Oh boy.
Nobody is laughing.
No,
Nobody
but
ever laughs.
I know, it's
at
great.
your jokes.
I laugh.
Well, that's because...
That's because you're required to.
Yes.
It's my job.
Yeah, the light comes on and it says audience clap and that's just what happens. Applause.
So, what got you started here? Like, and what kept you here? Is it my good
let's just go with
My
what kept me
incredible
here.
charm?
Yes, it is, and I really love your haircut today, Andy. It very much suits the shirt you're wearing today,
Oh yeah, thanks.
which is the Generation Z shirt that everybody should be buying
Yeah.
because they're fantastic and off the hook,
Yeah.
homies.
Now answer the question.
All right, I'll stop dancing around the question. I like it here because I get to use things I don't get to use at home. Yeah.
Okay.
And I have a much larger audience here than I do on YouTube. That's more consistent.
Okay.
Yeah, instead of having like 3 views on a video, you probably have a consistent number
On
for
the
the
radio?
radio. Yeah, for the radio.
How do you? Well, we don't.
There is
really
no
know.
way to tell, but I bet you it's more than what I would be getting on YouTube.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
We have 6 views, sorry.
6 views. That's okay.
That's fine. Radio isn't about visual things. It's about listening.
Yes,
While you're
listening
doing-
to the content that we speak of.
Yeah.
Yes. Check the time.
I don't need to. I already know that. I've been
Well,
doing this for a long
he
time.
is father of time.
So, what sort of behind the scene things have you been doing, Dakota?
Talking.
Besides, being on the show? Like, the only thing that people really hear or see is when we broadcast or when we post something. So,
Yeah.
tell me about your workflow.
Workflow?
Yeah, like, how do you
Um,
get prepared for a show?
I usually get up, I have a bowl of cereal, I shower for like 3 hours, and then I just bike down to the radio, and I'm like, let's do this.
I'm scared to leave this.
I would be too now.
Yeah.
No, I most of the time when we were going back to more of the format of like interview, or before that rather, where we were talking about topics like, for example, maybe Gaza Strip or teacher strikes and things like that, right?
Yeah.
I would obviously look at a couple articles, I would prepare my mind for it, and then I would assume that you would have on-hand material, because I'm not spending money on ink to print, and I'm not bringing my phone in to look at. But I know that you would have the hand-on articles, and for myself, I would just have it kind of there mentally, and I'll bring it up as I remember, and where it fits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris, word of advice.
Don't do anything
Don't
that I
expect
say.
Dakota to do anything.
I don't do anything, I just sit here and I talk. It's great.
I kind of realized that.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
I work hard.
Yes. But outside the radio, every Sunday except for the next following Sundays, there's the flea market event, right?
Yeah.
And we just have a concert from 10 to 2 with a local band, and yeah, it's good for them to get gig opportunities and things like that. If you're a local musician, try and find a way to get a hold of me. If you got internet, the best way would be facebook.com/GenZShow.
Mm-hmm.
Promotion midway through the show, that's great.
Okay. Why don't you tell me about some of the work that what you do with musicians?
Some
Like-
mornings though, some mornings, I do bring them into the studio and I'll record a bit, and I tell them I'll produce a CD when they feel comfortable with their music and the quality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we have computers here that can do that, and I'm like, well, you're a local musician. I can even pick up the CDs and print them off for you, or not print but burn. If they want printing, I can do that later too.
What gets you out of bed to do that kind of thing?
Honey Nut Cheerios.
It's all about cereal, isn't it?
Yes.
You don't even eat that stuff.
Enough out of you, Danny.
Danny said you don't even eat that stuff.
And I said enough out of you.
The woman's always right.
Probably.
The one who will speak the truth.
She only speaks the truth.
She does. It's true. She's always been there for me.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Do you do what kind of recording work do you do, Chris?
Recording work?
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. I'm trying to get into recording vocals through Audacity on my laptop, but some of my artists have kind of just given up, so
Yeah.
they're kind of leaving me in the dust. And
I know how it feels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed because you never actually talk close enough to the mic.
Is this better?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Awesome, thanks.
Well, I definitely know what he talks about because we did have a lot of musicians lined up for Sunday gigs. But then all of a sudden, last minute, they would either, sonder me, or they will tell me that they're not prepared, and I can understand that. That's fine.
Okay. Anyways, we're 5 minutes towards our exclusive interview with the other 2 co-hosts.
The other 2 co-hosts?
Yeah.
Ryan and Austin?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So
I
I
thought
just
he
want to
was
make
looking at me
a
and like-
small public announcement for everyone who's listening, and especially to the co-hosts, is that I have very high expectations for anyone who's working on anything.
And you will be tested
You will be tested very hard.
and graded.
I think that anyone can achieve the top of their game if they work hard enough. Jimi Hendrix, he was like a poor fellow, saved up money, bought a guitar, and he spent years and years perfecting his art. It's not because Jimi Hendrix is a talented person, it's because he worked so hard at it, right? And I know that even our show is, I think it's a fairly popular show, as what I hear, and a lot of people like our format, and a lot of people like what we do, and that's just because Dakota and I have been working pretty hard, putting things together, and
As much as I joke, there is actually a serious tone outside of the show.
yeah, and
which you kind of witnessed earlier.
we
where I
spend
wasn't so
we
jokey.
spend hours and hours preparing for each show, contacting community members, reading the news, discussing with other people off the air, especially when they value their privacy, and hopefully we can share something that people will be able to learn from. And some people kind of slack off. They're like, okay, it's not a really big deal. This radio show station is not a big deal. But if you're gonna think like that, it's, you know, everything is gonna be like that, and people won't be able to grow. And I expect the people who are on the Generation Z show, I don't expect them to stay with us forever, but I think if they spend the time and determination, that they'll be able to go on to better things.
Was that your leaving speech?
No.
Okay.
You'll get a leaving speech later, but
next week.
it's just a message for anyone who's listening and any of our co-hosts, because I don't want them to feel like this isn't serious or this isn't important. We like to have fun, but
We're still getting stuff done for sure.
yeah, this is really important for me, and it's really important for a lot of other people who
Don't cry, Andy. Don't cry.
I'm sorry. don't have the chance to have their voice heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're I think since the start of our show, we've made a big-ish impact to the community just for, you know, outreach and voice.
I know that some shows have been here for over 5 years,
For sure.
and I think our show has grown really fast
Yeah.
compared to some of the other shows that have been here. I mean, like when you're at the flea market and people come up to you and say like, "Oh, it's a Generation Z show."
Yeah,
this
yeah.
and that.
Constantly.
And
coming
like
up.
friends of mine, they message me and tell me about what we do, and I think they like it. So
They're just like, we really appreciate what you do, but you need to get off the air.
yeah.
Yeah. No, we do get a lot of good feedback. This was kind of our Gen Z break moment. But no, it does definitely inform you about what you're about to get into. Like, in terms of our maybe fan group and your fan group. It's probably going to mingle into one fan group.
Yeah.
It
Hopefully.
could be interesting, yeah.
So Chris, where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years?
Hopefully working for one of the bigger record labels out there, like Monster Cat Audio, maybe Firepower Records or Dim Mac Records.
Yeah.
And
Rocking out in Ibiza or something?
no, hopefully still being here on this radio show or something.
Really?
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay.
that's determinations. You're fired. That's a good quality.
We show no
don't want
remorse.
that here. Yeah.
No remorse, everyone. No remorse. Alrighty. Anyways, we've got to play our last part of the show, and I'm heading out to Mill Lake to MC the Envision concert series. So if you guys want to check that out, or if anyone listening wants to check that out, feel free. Deception is playing their Electric Blues, and yeah, I'll see you at 6.
This is the Gen Z show.
Why don't I fill in the listeners of what we're doing right now?
Good point.
So, if you didn't hear, and if you didn't check our Facebook page on facebook.com/GenZShow,
I am going away to University of Waterloo.
Woo.
It's very soon. So these guys are here to fill up the shoes that I'm leaving behind, and there are very, very big shoes.
They look pretty small from here.
You don't want to try them on. Anyways, so what we're doing is we're recording this interview so that we can see, I can teach them live what they're supposed to do, and it's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, seems pretty helpful so far.
And also, we will run down the history of the Generation Z show. So if you don't know about the history, then you will very soon.
The history's kind of difficult without Dakota here.
Yeah, he would have made him so
No,
much more
I
interesting.
know the history. It's all right.
You know all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. So we just gotta
Alright.
start asking you questions about the generation.
Basically, we're gonna test out your interviewing skills.
All right. My first question is, when did the Gen Z show start?
So we decided on doing a show somewhere in the late fall, early winter, and we got it approved in February. This year. But we started last winter. So there's a huge process of getting a radio show on the air, which includes doing a demo tape, getting approved by the board, deciding on what kind of format you're going to take and what sort of music you're going to play. And so over the course of a couple of months, we have figured all that out, presented it to the board, waited for a really long time, and finally we started broadcasting in February. I think February 18th was our first show.
How long did you have to wait before you had to start recording?
Good question.
A couple months.
Just a couple months? That's
Yeah.
not too bad. I was expecting it to be like a year.
Well, the thing about Dakota and I is that we're not that patient. We want to get things going. So, or at least for me, and I think for him as well.
Okay, my question is, did you start out well, or did you fumble, I guess?
I would advise not to go on the podcast and checking out some of our first shows because they are awful.
Just because you said that, you know I'm gonna go on and check them now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Same.
But don't.
Yeah. I had another question. So you and Dakota's the other co-host, if nobody knew.
No, he's a host, not a co-host.
Okay, now he's the host. Now that Andy's leaving,
Oh.
how did you and Dakota meet, and what made the two of you decide to become co-hosts of a show?
ChristianDating.com. No,
Really?
I'm just kidding.
Okay,
I'm just
okay.
kidding.
That would have been interesting.
No.
That would have been a good conversation.
Oh,
Juicy.
back in the day, Dakota and I were in cadets, and so we just hung out because we're in the marching band together, and we're friends. And then
What instrument do you play?
trumpet, sax, piano, guitar, blah 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 blah.
Right. Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So what happened? My mom's like, Andy, you gotta do something with your life. You gotta go and volunteer. You're never gonna get into university. I'm like, okay, I can't cure cancer. I can't go to Africa. So at least I can go on CIVL. I was involved in CIVL with Johnny K and the Vinyl Spinner show, which is on 12 o'clock every noon till 3 or 4.
12 o'clock every noon. 12 o'clock.
Sorry, 12 o'clock every Wednesday.
There you go. Okay.
My English is no good. Johnny was my English tutor, but certainly he taught me a lot, but not enough.
Not enough. I was gonna ask another question. So after the whole process, where did the name come from?
So Generation Z show.
My aunt. One sec. My aunt was bugging me about something on Facebook the other day. I posted that I was going to be one of the new co-hosts, and she said, "Okay, well, what's after it?" I went, "I don't understand." She said, "Well, there's Generation X, there's Generation Y, now there's Generation Z. What's next? Does the world just end, or do we go back to A?"
Okay, so people perceive Generation X, Y, and Z as certain time periods,
Yeah.
which they are kind of. But when we talk about Generation Z is anyone who was born into technology. So we usually consider people in Generation Z somewhere between late 1990s to 2000s to start off, and then anyone preceding that.
Yeah, because they're born into the technology. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay, so that's just where the name came from randomly.
Yeah, like just talking about things that involve young people, and then as time progresses, we're gonna advise and try to talk about things that are relevant to people growing up.
Okay, that's a good one. Ryan, you got another question?
It's hard thinking of questions, man. It's like
So you guys started this Generation Z show, all that kind of stuff. So what kind of you were saying that you had to pick what you guys were going to do on the show when you applied for it. What did you guys end up picking for it? Was it like a talk show, or was it actually like solid music?
Okay, so there's 3 different kinds of shows on the CIVL, like what we consider on CIVL. One is a music show, one is a talk show, and one is a hybrid show. And we're basically a hybrid show because we play both music and we do a talk show.
Okay.
So sometimes we play music, like we try to play a lot of local music,
which is good for the community.
Yeah, and we also like to have local bands come on, talk about what they do, like
Yeah, definitely.
Richard's Almond Snack.
Poor Richard's Almanac, that's my band.
Oh,
So, and then did you guys start from that? Like, is that where you guys' starting point was the hybrid, or did it kind of like form into being a hybrid further down the road?
No, we just went straight into being a hybrid. So what we did, our first demo was talking about what you can do in post-secondary, all the options of going to university and all the options of going to like a trade school or just working.
Yeah.
Because I was planning on going to university. Dakota wasn't planning on going to university, so we could talk about that. It wasn't very good,
but it was
like,
a start.
It was relevant, and that was the important part.
Okay, I just have a question. What's your favorite part about the Gen Z show?
I like to meet new people and hear what they have to say, and I think when most radio stations and most radio shows, they don't give community members the chance to talk about things in an open environment. Like, we like to have like anybody come on. We can have famous people come on. We can just have regular people come on, talk about relevant things, because relevant things affect everyone.
Okay, so actually, I'm asking a question for Austin. What's your favorite thing about radio? Because you've been on a couple of times, right?
It's been cool getting in. I think it's cool to be able to interview people and try to figure out what they're talking about and so on and so forth, and like reaching out to the community is a big thing, and that's a lot of what we do on the Generation Z. So Andy just spilt water all over himself. Way to go, bud.
It's all right. It's because I'm not wearing a shirt.
Yep, definitely.
Yep.
We're all naked in the studio.
Yes.
Yeah.
As of always. Anyways,
Anyways.
so then from then on, you guys just started the Generation Z show. Have you guys had any bumps and
Difficult.
turmoil and minus the fact that you spilt water all over yourself?
Yeah, that's awful. That's
the worst.
Yes.
I'm crying.
On the inside. And there hasn't been really
Difficulties. Okay. I don't know. It's not easy, but it's fun. So
you're just saying
I don't
you and
feel it.
Dakota just work well together.
yeah.
So when is he proposing?
When is he proposing? I don't know.
Okay.
Sometime in the late fall.
I
Anyways.
hope so.
But
Andy just wants the big rock.
yeah.
What did you have?
Okay, so Austin, I'm asking you another question. Why do you want to do Why did you want to do this? It's like the Gen Z show co-host.
You know what? My band was on. We had an interview a little while ago. My band's Poor Richard's Almanac. I'm the lead singer. We were on a little while ago, and I don't know. It was just I thought it was cool. I know Dakota. I went to school with Dakota. I played in band with Dakota. So I guess I kind of met this Dakota the same way Andy met Dakota. So and it just kind of started from there. I enjoy music. It's something social.
Wait, you're on ChristianSingles.com too?
Yeah, 100%, man. I go to church every Sunday.
I feel lucky for you too. The way I met Dakota, I was random. I think I just started pushing him or something.
Yeah, you know what? He posted it on Facebook, but it was just kind of like, it was funny because I was talking to Shay, the bassist for my band, and we had left.
It's hard today.
Oh, I know her. Yeah.
Yeah, you saw her today. You know her, anyways. We left the studio. And both me and her literally like were high-fiving each other. We're like, we need to get a radio show. This would be so cool. Me and you would rock this. We should do it. And then her I guess her interview didn't fall through or something like that, and then I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it, and Dakota was all over it. So that's where it started.
Oh, I just talked to Dakota, and this seemed interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Same idea.
And when I came in, it was actually really fun. So I just
Stayed.
Yeah. All right. So it was gone pretty quiet. So
Can
Austin.
you hear that?
I can hear it.
Oh.
Good job, Andy. And Andy sadly has his phone on.
Yeah, no big deal.
Oh yeah, guys, when you're on the air, turn your phones on airplane mode.
Oh, yes, good example, Andy.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
What's your Andy? Austin.
What's my question?
Do you have
Did I
any questions?
Pardon me?
Do you have any questions?
I haven't thought of another one. You got another one?
Ooh, no.
Should I start pushing questions on you? Well, you've pretty much explained all the questions.
Yeah, maybe you try asking random questions.
General questions. So how do you know Dakota?
You asked that already.
Not you.
No.
Him.
Oh, him.
Oh, already.
He answered that too.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, I did. I just randomly met him. Actually, I think I started pushing him randomly.
No, I
In-
mean like
middle school.
first met. Oh, in middle school.
Yeah,
you
like-
started pushing him and
I don't know. I think it was like that. It's
Bully.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what
The
I was
funny
thinking.
thing was I was actually a pretty shy person back then. Like,
Yeah.
So you're a
long
shy
hair.
bully.
I was never been bullied.
Neither
That's
have I.
good.
I think the only time I got bullied was in elementary school, and I popped that kid one in the face, and never got bullied
Oh.
again.
Well, no, it was surprising for my case because I was pretty short and it's like really long hair. I'm not talking about like, but it's like shoulder length hair.
Yeah, I know. One
Majestic.
of the guys that I don't know if you know him. One of the guys that I know. His name's now I can't even remember it. Either way, he had like Robert Plant hair. Do you know who Robert Plant is?
No.
Robert Plant's the lead singer of Led Zeppelin.
Oh.
So he had Robert Plant hair all through middle school and high school, and
Yeah.
it was like down to his elbows and permed. It was it was so awesome, but it was so bad at the same time. But it wasn't blonde.
Okay.
That was the only good thing.
It was brown at least, or was it black?
It was brownish. Yeah, it was dark brown. Whatever.
Okay, that's good
We'll,
at least.
we'll go with like in between you and Andy.
Oh, I remember you were asking what were some of the challenges.
Okay.
One of the biggest challenges was keeping on topic.
Keeping on topic.
That is probably one of the biggest challenges on the show.
But I mean, it's an interview show. Why do you got to keep it on topic? Just go.
Because,
let it go.
like I was saying, the Generations Dead show tries to talk about specific topics.
I guess. Yeah.
So, say we're talking about poverty.
Yay.
We don't want to talk about poverty and like start talking about our high school relationships or something.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with each other.
But
people aren't tuning in to listen to a bunch of kids talking about relationship. They're here to talk about poverty.
Okay, I just have something to add to this. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, it's like if you, yeah, I can understand if it's a serious topic, but if it's like kind of like this kind of topic, it's like it doesn't matter if you really go off topic if it's like somewhat on it.
What do you mean? Like
well, like if you go on the topic, you ask all the questions you want, but you can't think of something else, so just ask random questions. It's
yeah,
like-
and then you start a new topic, realistically.
Yeah,
but
but-
I mean, when you're starting an interview show and you've got people sitting in front of you, you just ask questions about certain things. Ask questions about them because they're your subject, right?
Yeah. Generally, what we do is we come up with maybe 5 very general questions like, who are you? What do you do? Why do you do it? What more can we know about you? Those are like really general
Why
questions.
you here? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we work our way down into like more specific things.
Yeah.
Like, for example, hey Austin, what do you do for a living?
Is that a serious question? You want
Yeah.
me to answer that right
Yeah,
now?
answer it.
Right now, I'm working.
Answer it.
I'm working at an engineering firm right now, so I'm working full time 5 days a week.
Really? What sort of engineering firm is it?
It's a telecommunications firm.
Okay. What do you do for them?
I draw AutoCAD,
Okay.
so I'm a draftsman.
Do you have like specific things you draw, or do you do anything?
Antenna towers, layouts, anything. It's mostly drawings for TELUS. So they'll come and they'll give us, like we want antennas on this telephone pole, and we're like, okay, I'll design that for you, and then give them drawings in like a couple of days.
Okay. So you see how I started off with a really general question,
And then you break it down
yeah,
and try to get
like I keep asking about more, try to make it more specific on what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I mean. Like you just kind of ask the questions as they come and just get more in tap, get more, get deeper into the subject.
Yeah.
Get deeper into the subject.
That's what we do here.
get deeper in the subject.
Do you want to know another challenge that we face often?
What?
People not being close enough to the mic.
Ooh.
So if you see on the computer behind you, you can see the when I'm
Andy.
talking, the white lines are really big.
Yeah.
When you talk into the mic, they're very small.
Is it me?
Yeah, it is you.
Oh crap.
So
I can hear me really well in the headphones.
okay, so I was saying how some frequencies of
Narcissist.
your voice
Ah,
are louder
gotcha.
or perceived louder, so it's all right. But like when you look at there, you can kind of tell.
yeah, you can tell.
And you were looking pretty small.
And since
over
since none of us have headphones on, we have this visual cue to make sure that we're not too close or too far from the mic.
Was that the
Yeah, when I
pretend
do
you're
this,
clapping with something between your hands?
when I do this, like the clapping or like or I do this,
yeah.
it means come closer to the mic.
Gotcha.
Since no one can see us what we're doing, it's basically tapping your lips but not actually touching them.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
Could
but
you
if
please
you're
not yawn,
actually doing
Andy?
it-
It's, and it's like, am I close enough to the mic? What do I do?
Yeah. So, if you look at the clock right now, we've been talking for 17 minutes and 18 seconds and counting.
In counting.
And so, usually we split our shows up into 3 parts, and in between each part, we play a song and we play 2 promos, PSAs, or show promos.
Okay.
So, right about now, you would introduce a song that you want to play. So if you have a song that you want to play,
Sure.
you got a song you want
It's
to play?
on my phone, yeah. for
Cool.
sure, why
Yeah.
not?
So basically, what you do is you're like, okay, now we're coming to the first segment of our show. We're gonna play this song.
I am sorry.
Okay, and so here it goes. You just go straight into the
Go
song.
straight into the song. Well, I have to be able to hook it up.
No, okay, actually, I have
Yeah.
a question. What
Right.
music's acceptable for
That
this?
was a good question.
Oh, any song is acceptable, as long as there's no swearing in it.
Ah,
Okay.
dang.
Also, since our show tries to focus on Canadian local music, we try
Yeah.
to play as much Canadian local music.
Well, I don't know if these guys are local. I saw them with the jazz band in Nelson when we went on our band trip, but they're actually a really good band. If you guys
What are
want
they?
to hear them.
What's the band
Their
called?
name is they're called Mocking Shadows.
Okay.
They're kind of like an R&B band, but they've got like a full band to it, and they had some killer trumpet solos.
Ooh,
and all
That
kind
sounds
of
really
stuff.
awesome.
It
so-
does.
We'll just have to listen to it.
Yeah.
All right. So hook it up.
Dealing with the cold in the city at night. I remember a time when we were still real tight. Didn't have to say we were all about it. Only took one look, you could figure it out. Doesn't seem so long ago to me. We were side by side in harmony. Then a fork in the road, I had to make a choice. Now I was gonna have to find my own voice. Then you gave up on me. I still had something to say. It doesn't matter how the time's gone by. I still got something for you to try. Try me. Why don't you try me again? You and me. This doesn't have to end this way. Every time I tried to work things out, another problem would arise. It was all about the cold communication breakdown, and it was always the same. And when I tried to tell you how I felt inside, it was all I could do not to lie to you. Because every time I'd verbalize it, I could see the tears welling up in your eyes, girl. Then you gave up on me. I still had something to say. I won't give up without a fight, and it really doesn't matter who's wrong or right. Try me. Why don't you try me again? You and me. This doesn't have to end this way. How come everybody knew
Welcome back. You're listening to the Generation Z show on 101.7 FM, broadcasting from the University of the Fraser Valley to the Fraser Valley. I'm Ryan.
I'm Austin.
And I'm Andy.
And we're back.
Okay, so we're gonna run down some of the things that are happening in town.
I'm just gonna introduce that song. That was Mocking Shadows. The song name is "Try Me" by Mocking Shadows.
Awesome. And where they're from?
Per se what?
Where are they from?
I am not 100% sure.
But you saw them in Nelson.
I saw them in
So
Nelson.
they must be somewhere.
They're in BC. I'm sure.
I hope so.
Are you sure about that? They could have moved to Toronto for all you know.
Because-
You know what? They might actually be from Toronto. That sounded
Because
familiar.
you have to write it in the list of
Oh,
I will look it up.
maybe
Great.
Andy will see them when he moves.
Maybe. Okay, so want to say a special happy birthday to Connor, who is our graphic designer.
Yeah, Connor, happy
His
birthday.
birthday was July 23rd, so it's kind of belated. But you know,
Kinda.
that's all right.
Only a couple days.
Yeah, only a couple days.
No big deal.
What you talking about?
Also, Johnny K spins vinyl at Freewheeling Records. Friday, I believe it's at the end of every month. Fridays every month from 1 to 5. And I was there today.
So what does he do? Does he just throw a record on, let it play, or
Just
is he like,
wiki.
like,
He does
Frick
a
up.
little bit of both.
okay.
Yeah. We're listening to you know that action movie guy?
Action movie guy.
Name a movie.
He's like bald.
Oh,
Bruce
Vin Diesel.
Willis?
No, not that one.
Bruce
he
Willis?
looks really close. Was it?
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
Really?
You know Bruce Willis is a rock star?
Wait, what?
Yeah, we were listening to Bruce Willis. So if you want to listen to music
Are you
made
sure?
by Bruce Willis, then go to Freewheeling.
Are you sure it's Bruce Willis? He's from the Die Hard movie, right? The guy from.
Yeah, I have a picture. Johnny has a picture.
From
of
which
me.
movie?
Die Hard was it?
Yeah, okay, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, probably. But he was there, and it
I
was
don't-
great.
I don't think I've seen Die Hard, so.
Oh, you.
No, I have seen that movie. That
Okay.
I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about now.
Mhm.
Okay, good.
Okay, what else? So what else is happening? We have the Envision concert series, which this week is Deception, Electric Blues. I'm gonna be there emceeing, and if you want to see some stand-up comedy that's not funny, make sure to drop by. If you want to hear some really awesome electric blues, feel free to drop by.
That sounds.
That's
a little
at 6 o'clock.
That sounds a little bit better than the lame stand-up comedy.
Yeah. And also Thursday, Jam and Jubilee, we have Quinn and Tonic, Tommy Alto, Open Letters, The Tourist Company.
Quinn and Tonic they're a very, very good band. We played with them at the Fraser Valley Talent Show. They're a good band.
Really, yeah.
Didn't know that.
That's at 7 o'clock. And that seems all for today.
That's all we have for
Unless you guys have
Okay, so
anything
Andy-
happening.
public announcements.
All right. So Andy, you MC.
Yeah.
Is that all? You're just gonna say, oh yeah.
So you were talking about this show. You were talking about a punk show. You were talking about tonight. What's going on tonight?
I can't talk about
Or
that.
sorry, yeah, no, we won't talk about that.
Oh.
Never mind. What about there was a show on here you were talking about, like the for your public announcements.
Johnny K?
No, the other one.
The
There was
one with the
another
Bruce Willis, was it?
Andy's Attic, maybe?
Yeah, maybe that one.
Okay.
I don't remember which one it is. You were talking about you were DJing for the stand-up comedy thing.
Oh, wait.
What is that?
DJing for stand-up
Oh, the
comedy?
Activision,
don't know.
wasn't it?
No. You mean this Envision concert series?
Yeah, like that.
Envision.
What is it? I've never even
Okay,
heard of that
so-
before.
Same.
So if you've heard of Envision, the financial company,
Yeah.
they sponsor a bunch of shows every year, at Mill Lake and at local cafes.
Oh, okay. I saw something at Mill Lake the other day. I was wondering what it was.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah, I was there.
It was
I
just
was
a bunch
emptying
of,
that too.
bunch of big tents.
Yeah.
Is
John
that-
Welsh, and some two other singer-songwriters that I should know the name of because I was, doing sound for them at the Barry Beat, but my memory doesn't serve me well.
Alrighty. When Johnny has a show on here too? When is his show?
Like I said, it's at 12 to 3 every Wednesday.
Every
12 to
Wednesday.
noon.
Yeah, you said that before the song. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
you-
So do we have a topic? Topic of any sorts?
maybe Andy's amazing English.
Well, when I'm gone, that's what you guys will have to come up with.
We could question you about what you're leaving for.
What-
A woman?
Well, we just talked about that.
Not all of it.
Not all.
Yeah, we did. I said I'm going to Waterloo for mechanical engineering.
I don't remember.
You
ever
say
saying
that, but
Okay,
it could be a
you guys
lie.
don't pay attention. You guys are you guys,
awful.
You're
We're
awful,
awful.
co-hosts.
You're bloody awful.
I can't do this anymore.
Nope.
Get out.
That's why you're leaving, right?
Yeah.
I've had enough of this.
But you know, by the end of the 3 weeks, you will be so good that
yeah, it won't matter anymore.
We'll be dropping like it's hot.
Nobody will even remember Andy. No, I'm totally kidding.
Yeah.
Everybody will remember Andy.
Because
He'll
it's
remain
on
in
your
our
shirts.
hearts.
It's on my shirt. Those can be subject to change, but still.
Oh yeah, aren't you playing at the
Agar Fair.
Agar Fair?
Yeah,
August
yeah.
1st
My
or
band's
something?
playing at Agar Fair August 1st at 6:30. Come check us out. We're Port Richard's Almanac. We'll be playing on the side stage. There's two big stage. There's a big stage, and then there's like a community stage. We'll be playing on the community stage for probably about a half hour, 45-minute set.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should be
Great.
good. We'll be playing like right in the middle of the rodeo. That was gonna be hilarious. We got a couple originals though. We're excited about it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a couple of originals. Maybe you get recording and put on the show.
When we had our interview a little while ago, we had one on the show.
Don't let me down.
That was one.
Oh wait, that's
Well,
not an original.
That's not an original though. That's the Beatles
There's
cover.
that other the one
It was
that
called
I
The
like.
Love.
Yeah, love.
The
With the guitar. It's
Yeah.
good.
It was cool. It's kind of like a folky, like river. I could just imagine like a river, like a what do you call it? A babbling brook in the background.
A babbling brook.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a nice band name.
Beautiful.
Also, what's
Babbling.
with your sound mic? It seems like it's going really small.
Is it going really small?
Yeah, it is. That was yours.
Okay. Well, I'll just talk closer to the mic then.
Or maybe speak louder.
That works as well.
Mhm.
Just different frequency. It sounds really good in my headphones.
Yeah, but
Your
You
you
just
phone-
like the sound of your
Your
voice.
phone's gonna ring again.
Yeah.
What are you, a psychic?
I just like the sound of my
Well, at
own
least
voice.
We're coming to the halfway point of our show, so might as well finish off.
Yeah, we're gonna come to the as Andy just said. We're coming to the halfway point on our show. At this point, a couple of the show co-hosts couldn't make it today. Dakota and Chris couldn't make it. I couldn't make it at this moment. They're gonna do the second half of the show in a little bit here.
Yep, and you'll hear them.
You'll hear.
You might hear them. You might have heard them, and you might hear them. It depends on whether we're gonna put this recording at the beginning of our live show or at the end.
Okay.
It should be at the end though.
Yeah.
So
We'll
yeah,
find out.
We'll find out. You'll
Yep.
find out
Well-
when you hear the show.
That's true.
And maybe next time, speak louder.
When do you leave for Waterloo? I was gonna ask you that.
August 30th, I think,
30th.
or 31st.
Are you going like for the first week? Like when do you start the school?
September 1st.
Right, like right on the dot.
It's like orientation week.
Oh, gross.
Why is it gross?
I don't know. Orientation's always gross, no
You're-
matter where it is.
Wait.
No matter where you're at, orientations are gross.
Just because your orientation doesn't match my orientation.
You know what? Every orientation I've had has been boring. Super boring.
Does this university have an orientation? I don't know.
What school?
What school? UFV?
Oh, it has an
it's
orientation?
UFV. If you go to Waterloo, it's like, oh, let's go and make like
Are you
a
sure?
rocket ship,
Then
bro.
again, let's go make a rocket ship.
Bro.
Rocket ship. That should be interesting.
Yeah.
If you see anything exploding in the sky in, the next month, just think of Andy.
Yeah.
Oh.
It'll probably be Andy's rocket ship, maybe with something strapped to it.
Andy's
You never
rocket
know.
ship. Sounds
Andy's
like the
rocket ship.
beginning of a great TV show.
No,
Anyways,
that's an Elton John song.
You know,
Oh, is
let's
it?
finish off.
Let's
It's
finish
not-
off.
Everyone's trying to get me out of here. Okay, so this was the Generation Z show on 101.7 FM, broadcasting from UFE Abbotsford to the Fraser Valley. I'm Andy Lee.
I'm Austin Bilodeau.
I'm Ryan Willett.
Make sure to check our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/GenZShow, on our YouTube page, which only Dakota knows the link name to. I think it's youtube.com/GenZShow as
Yeah,
well.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yep. And if you have any questions, concerns, requests, or have some suggestions, you can contact us at genzshow@gmail.com.
You got anything you want us to talk about? Go ahead and you could post it on our Facebook page as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Next
Yes.
week, I believe we're going to have Abbott's Forward come talk about what their plans are, and also hopefully a teacher coming in to talk about the strike. Only
Yeah.
time will tell.
as of what they're doing in the fall.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it will ever happen.
Yeah, if I think they were talking about shortening the school year or something
Yeah.
ridiculous.
But you know,
Yeah.
there is one thing that's always gonna happen, and that's the Generation Z show,
always every Saturday.
5 to 6.
Forever and ever.
This is the Gen Z Show.